On July 8, 2013, inside a hospital room in Plano, Texas, something happened that Nashville still struggles to talk about honestly. Not the inspirational version. The real one. Randy Travis had been admitted to the Heart Hospital Baylor with what doctors believed was viral cardiomyopathy. Serious, but treatable. He'd felt weak for weeks, shortness of breath, fatigue, something off. By afternoon, his condition collapsed. Fluid filled his lungs. Machines began doing more work than his body could. Then came the stroke, massive, left side of the brain, the side that controls speech. A neurologist told Mary Davis words no one is ever ready to hear. If he survives, he may never speak again. Not sing. Speak. He was 54 years old. By midnight, doctors induced a coma to reduce swelling. Survival odds were described as extremely low. In Nashville, phones started ringing quietly. Managers spoke in careful tones. Insurance policies were reviewed. No one was talking about music anymore. And that mattered, because this wasn't just another artist in a hospital bed. This was the man who reshaped modern country music. In 1986, Storms of Life didn't just sell millions. It redirected an entire genre back toward tradition. Artists like Alan Jackson have openly said Randy saved country music. But fame doesn't negotiate with strokes. When he finally emerged from the coma, relief didn't last. The damage was severe. Aphasia, limited mobility on his right side. His voice, one of the most recognizable baritones in American music, reduced to fragments. Here's the cruel part. His mind was still there. He knew what he wanted to say. He just couldn't reach the words. Therapy began immediately. Physical, occupational, speech. No cameras. No swelling music in the background, just repetition. Lift the arm, try the word again. Breathe. Recovery after a stroke isn't emotional at first, it's mechanical, and progress is slow. Then, during one speech session, a therapist asked him to try something different. Instead of speaking, sing. Neurologists have long documented that melody can bypass damaged language pathways. At first, there was only breath, then tone, weak, fragile, but familiar. The voice wasn't gone, it was rerouted. 3 years later, on October 16, 2016, inside the Country Music Hall of Fame, the industry witnessed something unforgettable. Randy stepped to the microphone to accept his induction. His speech was short, effortful. Every word cost energy. Then, without cue, he leaned forward and began to sing. Amazing grace. Not strong. Not perfect, but present. The room didn't overpower him. It joined him carefully. It wasn't a comeback, it was a boundary. I am still here. But here's the part most redemption stories skip. Before the stroke, there were fractures. In 2012, after a DWI arrest in Sanger, Texas, his mugshot flooded the internet. Public embarrassment, legal trouble, isolation. The industry that once praised him grew quieter. The pressure had been building long before the hospital room. The stroke wasn't poetic justice, it was medical, but it arrived in a life already under strain. And after 2013, something shifted. The complicated veteran became the endangered legend. Tributes grew louder once competition ended. Appreciation intensified when productivity faded. That's not cruelty. That's how fame works. Today, Randy doesn't tour. He doesn't chase charts. He wakes early. Some days words come easier. Some days they don't. He sings short lines, mostly hymns. Not to perform, to connect. The illusion that his voice had to carry everything? That's what truly disappeared. He no longer represents a genre on his shoulders. He simply exists inside adjusted boundaries. And maybe that's the hardest lesson in this story. There is no final concert, no perfectly restored high note. No cinematic closure, just continuation. If the thing that defines you vanished tomorrow, your talent, your career, your identity, would you still know who you are? Randy Travis never answered that publicly. He answered it quietly by staying. If you want more stories that go beyond headlines and into the truth behind the legend, subscribe now to Celebrity Vault.